Hey! Okay, so it has been a while since I talked about a video game. The whole Roaring Twenties is happening. Oh, Chewie, we're home. Oh, good heavens. Okay, I found a video game that fits the Roaring Twenties. Am I'm so happy that I found this video game. So, it was developed by Actionware, if I can say it, that would be fantastic. Actionware Corporation. It was released in 1988. It was originally developed for Amiga and then later for DOS. The title of this game is Capone. Yeah, we all know how I love this gangster thing. I'm just ridiculous. It's just fantastic. I am a very weird girl. We all know this. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the premises is known. I don't really have to explain it, but I will anyway, because. But, well, this is a shooter game. It's a side-scroll shooter game. Let's get this out of the way. And when I was a kid, shooter games were the thing. Shooter and fighter games. I mean, good heavens. Madonna had, that was the thing. Celebrities always they had their own games. Now it's like celebrities have to make their own makeup and and perfume. I used to work at Sears, and it was like I remember when it was Antonio Banderas, J Lo, and Britney Spears. Those were the three that we had to sell, and they all smelled the same. It's like, oh man, yeah, that was. Anyway, so yeah, it's like perfume and makeup. It's like go back to being, releasing your own video game. We'll buy it. We did in the 80s. Yeah, I remember Madonna's video game. Elvira had a video game. Why can't you? Anyway, go back to that. So, yeah, we had shooter games and the fighter games. And we turned out okay. Maybe. I don't know. You can't go by me. I'm crazy. Anyway, so but with the shooter games, they helped with coordination. In all seriousness, that's what they did. They helped with. I mean, Duck Hunt just gave rages to people. Just had it right up against the screen, and you still couldn't shoot the ducks. You had that dog laughing at you. You're like, "You're next, buddy." And I'm not the only one who felt that way. But anyway, yeah, these shooter games helped with coordination. I mean, I remember we had um, one that was a Western theme, and you had to shoot the bad guys that were raiding the city and everything, the little town. And of course, there was like the ranch, the general store, and the saloon. And you had to make sure that you didn't hurt the innocent people. So, of course, you're like, I'm going to get these guys. And with that game, it was if you hurt one of the innocent people, the game was over. And but everyone was different. You would either lose points, like it would take several points off, like, be it like 5 points, 10 points, what have you. So yeah, every game was different. It was either the game was over or points were taken off. So I don't know how it is with Capone, how they did that if you hurt an innocent person, if it was game over, because I couldn't find that. So, anyway, yeah, shooter games and fighter games. Yeah, Madonna's was a fighter. And, because she always wanted to show how tough she was, and we all know it. Anyway, so 1920s Chicago. It was a one player or two player game. And all you saw was, of course, a little target and you could shoot out, because I did find a gameplay. I will put it in the description below for you so you can watch. And one thing is that the scrolling, because it does side scroll and everything, it was really slow. And I thought, this is not what you would expect, but I can imagine that the uploader slowed it down so you can actually get a flavor of the game. And because usually those side scrolls, I mean, it's like if you want the point, you gotta go fast. So, but anyway, so you're the gunman. You gotta get these guys, and it was in streets and alleys, and there were two interior scenes from what I'm reading. It was a warehouse filled with TNT, so you had to be careful of that. And um, the final scene was inside of a bank, because of course it is. Now, when I watched this playthrough, of course you could shoot out the windows, but you had to be careful. I noticed that the player passed by a barber shop and there were shadows of people, and they didn't shoot out the window because there were innocent people in there. So that's one thing to take into consideration. I can see. And the other thing is, you gotta watch the gangsters on the street, because there are gangsters who will put TNT on the streets, and you have to shoot that. Yeah, and otherwise it could be game over. Who knows? Lose points or whoever. Because innocent people get hurt. And but yeah. Oh my gosh. And I'm just, I don't remember this game. There are a lot of the games that I remember, but I really don't remember this game. There were a lot of games that my cousins played. And the other thing is that there was a bit of a revival. Like when Titanic was found, there was a huge Edwardian revival. Like, most obvious thing I could say. But beyond that, there was also a bit of there were just era revivals all over the place in the 80s and the 70s and 80s, because well, who knows why? I don't know why, but I remember there were quite a few. Like, you think of Johnny Dangerously with Michael Keaton, and several other of movies that are set in the 20s from the 80s and the 70s. And so there were quite a few video games also set in that time. So it kind of amazes me that this one didn't, especially since, gangsters and everything. Everybody loves gangsters, even back then. Who knows? And but yeah, of course, when Titanic was found, Edwardian revival all over the place. And but yeah, there was a bit of a 20s thing going on. I remember that. And I don't know. So I'm not sure why this one fell through the cracks. And yeah, there was a 30s revival when Indiana Jones showed up. Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that too. Not so much when Raiders came, but when Last Crusade and everything. Yeah. So anyway, it's funny how movies have that impact. So, but anyway, so this was developed by Actionware Corporation. It was released in 1988, originally for Amiga, but it also is for DOS. 1920 Chicago. The name of it is Capone, and a side-scroll shooter game. There is a gameplay for it, and I will put it in the description below for you.